What's up, y'all? It's your boy AJ, and this is AJ Reacts 2. And over the weekend, I checked out the movie The Prodigy. So let's talk about it. Okay, before I get into this, I just want to start off by saying I have kind of a medium tolerance for horror movies. Like, I can't do The Exorcist or anything like that, but the typical horror movie doesn't bother me. But I have to say, this one was freaky. So that brings me to my first category. I have to say, while I was watching this movie, I was at the edge of my seat the whole movie, anticipating what was gonna happen next. And I was thinking, man, this movie is so fresh, it's so original. And then I left the theater, and I'm driving home, right? And I'm thinking, I feel like I might have seen this plot before.
There's nothing innocent about child's play.
The story is almost identical to Child's Play. So the plot of Child's Play is a serial killer gets caught and shot, and he dies, right? And his soul gets transferred into a doll. So the doll is an embodiment of this serial killer, and he's come back to finish what he started. In this film, The Prodigy, it's almost the identical plot. It's about a serial killer who captures ladies, cuts one of their hands off as a trophy, and he gets caught and dies. And at the exact same moment, a baby is born, and it has the soul of the serial killer in it. So basically, the only difference in the story is in one movie, the serial killer's consciousness gets transferred into a doll, and in this one, the serial killer's consciousness gets transferred into this boy. Now, something that was a bit confusing about this movie was that the boy had a consciousness of his own as well. So he kind of had to share a body with the serial killer. And the film never made it abundantly clear which one had consciousness. So kind of the whole movie we're like, which one is talking? Which one? It was kind of like a multiple personality disorder, but we didn't know who had the light when. So obviously the serial killer being inside of a doll and being inside of a young child is gonna be different. And I think it was different enough to stand on its own. But moving on. The kid's acting was great on the creepy parts. He scared the bejeebies out of me. But when it came to the parts where he was supposed to be a normal kid, the acting was a little iffy, but luckily the majority of the movie he had to act creepy, and it worked. This kid actually played the role of Georgie in the movie It a couple years back. And although he didn't have very many speaking lines in that, I thought he did a great job. Taylor Schilling was the mom in this movie, and I think she did a phenomenal job. Her acting was stunning, and I mostly know her from a little show called Orange is the New Black on Netflix, and she did great in that as well. But I never seen her in a horror film. It was refreshing, and she did a great job. The father that played in this film, on the other hand, he wasn't bad, it just wasn't great. I didn't connect with his character as much as I connected with the other characters. And there were other actors in this movie, but overall, the acting was good. I felt the literal creeps from this kid, and I think the main reason is because they explained the character of the serial killer so well, and they gave you just the parts that you needed to know to give you those creeps. And the rest of the characters were written nicely as well, and they all kind of meshed together well. Man, almost every scene had the most eerie, edge of your seat type feeling and waiting in anticipation. And in horror movies, sometimes they have those and nothing happens. It's just kind of set up for a jump scare, but it doesn't happen. And I read some reviews about this, and I noticed that some folks weren't happy with the jump scares, but I loved them. They weren't too predictable, and they weren't cheesy given the tone of the film. I think they did a great job with the cinematography. And the reason why I couldn't give it a 10 out of 10 is because I gotta compare it with films like The Shining, The Silence of the Lambs, things like that. I mean, it wasn't quite there, but it did give me the chills down my spine. All in all, I'll give this movie a 7 out of 10. Good acting, great cinematography, the characters were written well, the story seemed a little too similar to Child's Play, but I would say it was a good film. If you're into horror films, I would recommend it. I just don't know how memorable this film is gonna be. Like in 10 years, are we still gonna remember this movie? Probably not. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, AJ Reacts 2. Like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and head down to the comments, because you know I'll be in there. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.